What is going on, guys? What is going on? We're gonna see Boruto, Naruto the movie today. And I'm going with my brother. Right, Jared? Yeah, alright, so this is the plan. We're gonna go see the movie, and then once I get back home, I'm gonna give my overall review of the movie as well. So, until then, guys, I hope you stay tuned. Alright, so we just got out of seeing Boruto, Naruto the movie. Freaking awesome. That's all I'm gonna say for right now, because once I get home, I will give you guys my overall thoughts and impressions of the movie. But, what did you think, Jared? What did you think?
Man, that movie gave me the feels.
Gave him the feels. What was your favorite part about that movie?
Dude, that guy is touching that. Oh shit!
Oh my god!
That guy was bending over and he just touched the booty.
Something that was up back there. All right, but yeah. Anyway, so what was your favorite part about the movie?
My favorite part. I think it was interesting that you saw the different character development of Boruto.
Yeah.
You know, he really didn't like his father, and he was depressed that he wasn't around.
Yeah.
And he hated his father because of that. But
that's something that a lot of people can relate to. Yeah.
But then he just, him and his father just bam.
His father and him connected. Yep.
They connected.
Yep. Now I read the manga all the way up. Now you never read the manga, I don't think so. I mean, you only stopped at like a certain point in the anime, as far as what I know, right?
Yeah.
So how was it seeing these new characters within the anime with someone that hasn't read the manga? How did you feel about that? Like, were you completely lost at all, or did it still feel like Naruto to you?
Well, I don't know, it wasn't that much of a shock for me.
Yeah. So, what are you trying to say? Basically, what he's saying is that the movie was awesome and that you guys need to see it, despite the fact that probably you haven't read the manga. But it's preferred that you at least finish reading the manga before you actually go ahead and watch this movie, especially the last Naruto the movie, which you can also see a review about in the description below. But yeah, I'm gonna get home, and once I get home, I will give my overall thoughts and impressions about the movie, because I got a lot to talk about. See you guys there. So this is going to be a little hard for me to actually review, probably just for the fact that there is just so much to go over in this movie that it is going to be very hard to avoid spoilers. So I'm warning you guys right now, if you haven't seen this movie yet, I recommend you try to find it somewhere to go watch it before you actually watch this movie, because there is a possibility that I might give spoilers. But if you have seen the movie already, or you don't have any problems with spoilers at all, then I'm just gonna jump right into it. So this movie opens up with a really badass intro with Sasuke going toe-to-toe with two of the villains that we are introduced throughout this movie. More will be discussed on them in a little bit. First, I just want to talk about the intro. Now, the intro that we see Sasuke going toe-to-toe with two of the villains, and their swords are clashing out. One of the first things that you notice is that Studio Period must have really had a high budget for this movie, because the animation looks so good. It looks so crisp, looks so clean, and even the sounds when you hear the swords clash, it is just on point. The sound, the best thing about this movie was its animation, its sound, and the music, because the music, while we hear new music, we also hear old music from the part 1 of Naruto, and that is something that was very nostalgic to me, and I just loved it. And from what I've heard, it seems that Naruto has been in filler hell for the most part, because there's just been so many fillers throughout this year that pretty much there has only been 6 to 8 episodes that were actually canon this year of Naruto, and that's pretty awful, I will say that much. I mean, 6 to 8 episodes only that are canon. I mean, come on, you know, and it's very unforgivable in the sense, because I know that people are probably either going to skip the anime and read the manga, or they are going to drop the Naruto series as a whole, or either anime onlys are only just gonna wait until canon episodes release, and Naruto is going to be on their on hold list for the moment. But you know, when it comes to this movie, we know that Studio Pierrot obviously had Boruto Naruto the movie as its first priority and tried to make it the best-selling movie in the franchise, which honestly, if you look at the statistics, it is actually true. Boruto Naruto movie is actually the best-selling movie in the franchise. And when it comes to Studio Pierrot, they obviously put this on their to-do list before even focusing on canon episodes of Naruto. Watching this movie in general, it just makes you forgive all that. It makes you forgive that there has been so many fillers, because once you watch this movie, you are going to appreciate the amount of time and effort that Studio Pierrot put in to bring you this movie. Now, I gotta say, these two characters right here, if you already can't tell by their appearance, are related to the Otsutsuki clan, but I will say this, they are probably the most blandest villains that are probably in any Naruto movie that I have seen so far. Probably even blander than Toneri Otsutsuki in the last Naruto the movie. I mean, these two characters do bring conflict to the movie, but really all you are getting with these characters throughout the movie is just to see them get wrecked by Naruto, Boruto, and Sasuke. I mean, pretty much they are only there just to make Naruto, Boruto, and Sasuke look cool, really. I mean, I know there is only so much you can do in a 1.5 hour long movie that you really can't get everybody screen time and development like they should, but still, it always seems with Naruto's villains, as far as movies go, they are really not that really interesting at all. And I mean, the only motive that really these two characters had to bring conflict to our characters was just for the sake of being immortal, really. Now, what I was really surprised about this movie is how much the technology in the Shinobi world has changed. I mean, in Naruto Gaiden, we did get a quick glimpse of some of the Shinobis actually using telephones now, but really when you are watching this movie, it's almost as if everything has changed, that it almost has become as modern as it is in today's society, really. I mean, you have these scientists who are actually going about developing this new invention that completely eliminates the use of hand signs completely. Basically, it is a gauntlet that goes on to your wrist, and you can do a specific jutsu that implements into a tiny scroll, and you can put it in the gauntlet and use it for later to shoot out your jutsu, which is pretty unique in turn, because actually our villains that we are introduced throughout this anime have the same type of ability. But what's really funny to me is that this almost reminds me of the gauntlet from Spider-Man, where you would put it on your hand and it would shoot out silly string. That's exactly what it reminds me of. But even parts of the movie that I have seen, like, technology has just developed so much in the Shinobi world, or the Hidden Leaf Village entirely, because it almost seems like we get a part where Naruto, Sarada, and some of the other team members are just chilling out at a McDonald's. Like, I know it's probably not a McDonald's, but like, even they're chilling out at like fast food joints and whatnot. And like, just seeing the new technology in this movie was really an eye-opener for me, and it just shows you how much the new generation of Naruto is exactly like our current generation right now. Now, while the last Naruto the movie focuses on Hinata and Naruto's relationship and how actually it develops over time for the new generation to come in, this movie focuses on the new generation, obviously, but more importantly, Boruto himself. Boruto is a kid who pretty much a lot of us can relate to, believe it or not, especially if you have a parent who is very, very involved with their work and has very little time to actually make appearances to the house, and to come to the house now and then to, you know, actually have time for the kids. And that is exactly what is going on in the story of Boruto, really. I mean, your first assumption of Boruto is going to be like, wow, he acts exactly like Naruto. Oh, wait a minute, he probably acts exactly like Sasuke in a sense as well. And, you know, Naruto actually says this himself, that he acts similar to Sasuke in the sense. But, you know, your overall first impression of Boruto, if you have read the manga, or, you know, just by watching this movie alone, is that he is a snot-nosed little brat who is really disrespectful to his father. But there is a reason for that. He is just a little kid who, you know, wanted to be accepted by his father in the first place, and, you know, he doesn't get to have conversations with his father in the first place, and usually these only conversations that he gets from his father are just from shadow clones, really. And, you know, the first part in this movie where we see Naruto for the very first time, he is obviously at his Hokage desk, and his eyes are so drawn from exhaustion that you can see how hard Naruto is working, and this just shows how little time he has to keep himself healthy and, you know, have time to actually see his family once in a while. And I gotta say, this was probably the most emotional and the best part of the movie in general, where Naruto and Boruto are in their room talking one-on-one, father and son, with one another, and basically explaining, you know, just don't give up, and that Naruto is always going to be rooting for Boruto, even though he may not always be there for him, but inside he will always be rooting for them. And Boruto really took that to heart, and it just showed you throughout this movie the true connection that they share with one another. And before this movie even started, we got a little panel at New York Comic Con where Kishimoto is answering questions from fans, and there is a question in particular that goes like, is there anything that the fans need to keep an eye out for in this movie in general? And Masashi Kishimoto himself states, really look at the dialogue that is exchanged at the moment where we see Naruto and Boruto talking in Boruto's room, because that is pretty much the focal point that brings about Boruto's character development, makes it shoot up on a landslide. How he actually develops as a person and starts to find out his own path in life and his own shinobi way. That was the best moment for me in this entire movie. Just Naruto and Boruto talking one-on-one, father and son, just trying to get along and get on equal terms with one another, and just how Boruto develops as a person, and how he respects his father later on in the movie. Just it was just really awesome to see. I mean, just that moment right there in the movie just made me love this movie even more. We get to see the exchange between Naruto and Boruto, father and son. They're trying to fix everything, get equal with one another, you know, just a one-on-one conversation with each other, and just how this event changes Boruto's character in general throughout the movie, makes himself respect his father even more. Just really shines throughout this movie. I mean, I say that Boruto and Naruto are probably the best characters that you are probably going to come across this movie. I mean, I know there's a lot of Sasuke fans out there, but what I mean by this is that, because of my opinion being that Naruto and Boruto are the best characters that you're going to see throughout this movie, because Naruto represents the old generation, and then Boruto represents the new generation, and we as fans have known Naruto's stories throughout years, and by the end of this movie we see Boruto explain to his father, Dad, when we get home I want you to tell me the stories on what your adventures were like in the shinobi world before I was born. And that is something that I really enjoyed, and this just opens up a new pathway into Naruto, into the story of Naruto in general, which is Boruto's generation. I mean, I know Kishimoto technically said that this is the end of Naruto, but that is technically not the end of the Naruto series, because of the fact that we still have that countdown that has yet to be announced, where it says that is the new generation. I'll leave the link in the description below because I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about, but just in case you don't, I'll leave the description down below on what exactly this link about is. But it's basically an announcement that is going to happen with Naruto, possibly leading into the new generation. Many people have been saying maybe it's going to be another movie, but honestly, it is probably going to be a new anime that leads into that focuses on the new generation of Naruto and how Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki go on their travels as shinobi. Oh, and also before I close out this video, after the ending credits, we also get confirmation on who exactly is the parent of Mitsuki. It's Orochimaru. I mean, just what? It just seems like Kishimoto, when he did Naruto Gaiden, I mean, I respect this guy a lot, but the thing is, when it comes to the pairings and who exactly is the parent to the child in the next generation of Naruto, it just seems like it was just on a whim, really. Because I remember I came up with a theory, and I think it was a better theory than probably most theories out there, was that actually Orochimaru is Mitsuki in a child's body, but apparently, actually, it's Mitsuki as Orochimaru's child. And even Sarada brings this up in the event where we have Boruto and Sarada and Mitsuki there, where she is just like, so is Orochimaru the father or the mother, you know? And there's that moment where the camera starts paneling off and you actually see someone looking down at this scene, and I don't know, I really didn't get a good glimpse on who it was, but I want to believe that that was actually Orochimaru looking down at those children right there, because we know that Orochimaru turned, I guess, good by the end of Naruto, but like, still, just getting confirmation that Mitsuki is actually Orochimaru's child is just very, very odd. I mean, I guess you could say that Orochimaru maybe created Mitsuki, because there is also that possibility, but like, seriously, who would mate with Orochimaru? But yeah, love this movie, and I'm not going to lie, I think that this is my top Naruto movie of all time from what I've seen. I mean, there have been some good ones, but just the fights that were in this movie, the dialogue that was interchanged with this movie, the characters that were shown, how the development goes with these characters, and just overall, it was a very good movie. Really, the only gripe I have with this movie was just the villains, really. But overall, a very good movie. I highly recommend you guys go see it if you have read the manga. If you have not read the manga and you are an anime only, probably just wait until the anime gets done until you actually go ahead and watch this movie, because, you know, you're gonna be kind of lost on some of the characters that are introduced and to what is going on. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on what you thought about the movie, and if you like this video, please give it a like, and if you want to stay updated to my future content, please hit the red subscribe button below, and you'll never miss a video from me. That about does it for the video, guys, and remember, believe it.